Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video breaking down exactly how we scale offers past $10,000 a day without selling on guarantees and by increasing prices. I know, sounds crazy, but we'll get into it. I'm going to be going over specifically an offer that I actually own aside from just client offer called Primera Call Centers, and breaking down exactly what we do and exactly what our structure looks like. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and dive on in. Now, here's an example, 17K day, 11K day, 12K day, 16K day, 25K day. In case you don't believe screenshots, you go ahead and see it right in the processor. Here it is again. You can see a 16K day, a 25K day. As you can see, Primera Call Centers headline on it. As you can see, the logo headlined on this one. Now, back into what this is about. Now, shout out to WAP and Fanbasis. They're both good. Wearing a Fanbasis hat, not a WAP shirt. That's okay, though. But this specifically can apply to coaching offers, agencies, B2B service, pretty much anything that is high ticket online that sells through Facebook, YouTube ads, or even organic in some cases. But this is definitely a lot more leverageable and tactical for cold traffic offers. Now, if I scroll down, in terms of this video, is going to be pretty simple. Number one, we want to identify, is your offer currently getting fucked by retarded guarantees and positioning, which a lot of people probably are. Number two is understanding how to actually sell on averages and price accordingly and actually increase your sales by not having a guarantee, or at least not having an outrageous guarantee. And number three, an example of what this actually looks like. Now, to dive into it, let's first off analyze, are you actually getting fucked with retarded guarantees and positioning? Because you might be. Now, if we look at the three types of guarantees, we have baseline guarantees, aggressive guarantees, and retard guarantees. Excuse my use of the R word. I'm unfiltered. If that's not a thing for you, then feel free to leave the channel, but we're about to get tactical, so let's dive in. Base level guarantee would be like a 90-day ROI guarantee where you could either offer a refund at the end or work for free. Now, this looks boring and doesn't look attractive, but it can be positioned in the right way, which we'll get into in a little bit. Now you have aggressive guarantees, which is like, we'll help you scale to 10K a month in 90 days or a refund or work for free. First of all, it's uncompliant as fuck. You're just not going to get away with that at scale. Irrelevant without averages and irrelevant without any sort of unique mechanism. The key to actually being able to sell without a guarantee and with higher prices is not only positioning your offer and understanding like, hey, we make our average client X, so therefore we can justify this. You have to have some sort of unique mechanism or some sort of unique pricing model, which we'll break down a couple of those as well. The benefit of this is you aren't completely screwing yourself over if you're offering, an extension instead of a refund. If you do a refund guarantee for an unrealistic thing, you might sell a couple people on the front end, but you will quickly either go bankrupt, be one of the guys that is too scared to have reviews, or just everyone hates you and your market blows up on you. Now, on the end, you have retard guarantees, which is like we'll help you scale to 100K a month, or we'll get you XYZ amount of clients in XYZ amount of days, or a refund plus $10,000 for wasting your time, or we'll spend your first 20, 30K on ad spend, and on the back end, it's full of shit. They just don't mesh well. Then you have return guarantees, which is, we'll help you get XYZ thing in 90 days or a refund plus XYZ reward for wasting your time, which is literally, we'll do this for you. And if we don't, we give you this in return on top of a refund, which is basically putting you in the negative. A lot of people I understand on the back end, they don't actually sell this as their offer. Usually it's some sort of A/B close, but the problem is you're selling on a outrageous guarantee that literally has no relevance to what you actually do other than get clients, let's say for someone, or make them money. It's extremely uncompliant. And on top of that, it sounds too good to be true. So you're just not going to attract the right people. You're going to attract people that need aggressive guarantees. And those are the people that can't afford to pay higher caliber prices. So I would highly recommend not selling on retard guarantees. Now, understanding how to sell on averages is super, super simple. If you have an ROI-based offer, because that's how this works best for, at least from my perspective, because those are the offers that I've had the most success with scaling is ROI-based offers. Number one is understand your average client product use. So if you're an agency, if your average retention is 90 days, let's say, or average retention is 6 months, let's say, or if you're a coaching offer, how long does the person actually use what you help them use? If it's a biz op, it might be forever, or whatever it is, right? But let's just say 6 months. If you could help your average client earn $50,000 over 6 months, you could justify charging anywhere from 10 to 30%. Now, I know some of you guys might have your 50, 100K a month case studies, and you might have your 1 to 2K a month clients as well. Be honest, find the average, and if your results suck, then that's the thing you probably fix before even focusing on this. But charge anywhere from 10 to 30% of what you actually make people. You know what I mean? So $10,000 for 6 months is reasonable, and the way we pitch it in a way to where our average client gets X result over X period of time. If you put in the same inputs that they did, do you see any reason why you would get different results? Now, usually when we do these, we do have some sort of baseline guarantee, which is like the 90-day ROI, or we extend. So like if there's a worst case scenario, at least they have some sort of backbone or some sort of extension, but we don't usually throw refunds in our guarantees. But for instance, if you can't deliver or if someone wants a refund in like 2 weeks, give them a refund, like simple. But if you do all of the service, you shouldn't have to give your money back, especially if they're partly responsible for the result as well. But just to give you some examples of this. So the way that you could position something like this to where you don't have a guarantee, instead of like we'll get you 15 clients in your first 30 days working with us, and we'll spend $10,000 on your ads. And if you don't get an ROI, we'll give you 10 grand and all this stuff. An average, or not an average, but an example would be our average client gets 15 high ticket clients in their first 90 days of seeing this ad with our XYZ system, and we'll do it for you too on a performance only basis, meaning we only make money when you do. So you can see there's a bit of a unique mechanism there. Or you could do, if you don't want to do a performance guarantee, which if you're an agency, why don't you have some sort of performance mechanism? Essentially, we just go harder into actually selling the service and selling against traditional guarantees. So what that would look like is our average client gets 15 high ticket clients in their first 90 days of seeing this ad with XYZ system. And instead of selling you on some outlandish guarantee, I'm going to show you the inside and the averages that our clients actually get. We have clients that do upwards of 100K a month. We have clients that do as low as 10K a month. But our average client generates this result over this time frame without having to, let's say, spend an arm and a leg on ads, without having to become a content queen, without having to do all the things that people don't enjoy doing. And that's the same thing that we'll help you do as well. You B-roll testimonials, all that stuff. But that would be the way you angle it. I personally love performance-based, the way that we charge for our agency, outside of Premier, the offer we're going to dive into. We charge us 3 to 5K base retainer plus a 10% net profit share. So on the back end, let's say we were to run ads for our offer, because we don't really run ads. We make most of our money from the money that we make our clients. But it'd be simple because this is basically the offer that we would run, right? And on the back end, it would be more so of an A/B close. It would be either, hey, you could onboard with us for 40% just net profit share, or you could do a 3 to 5K base retainer and 10%. Weirdly enough, we prefer the 10% and the base retainer because usually if we start on a profit share, we don't get any money up front. Probably not going to prioritize the account because we haven't seen money yet, and it makes it more consistent, easier to pay team, everything of that nature. So that's an example of what an A/B close would look like. An info example, and I'll give you an example of how a lot of you guys probably run it, and then an FTC example for some of the more bigger people that watch this channel. It would be, we've helped 11,000 everyday people make an average of 8.5K additional income with XYZ model in an average of 6 months without prior experience, without working less than 10 hours a week or FTC compliant. How we've helped thousands of everyday people make full-time incomes with XYZ model in an average of 6 months without prior experience and less than 10 hours per week. So you see the threshold. Instead of selling on guarantees, we sell on without doing the things that people usually have to do, and we sell against guarantees if you're on an agency model or a super sophisticated market, and we sell on averages. This is really going to work the best if you have loads of testimonials, which if you're really throwing your balls on the table and spending a bunch of money on ads, you probably should. So that's what I would say there. And to give you an example of what this would look like on a landing page is this. We build automated call centers that book an average of 120 to 140 qualified appointments monthly, without door-to-door sales teams, without paid ads, and without unreliable marketing agencies. Now with this offer, we are selling at a 5-figure price point, and our guarantee is a 90-day ROI or an extension. So no refunds, nothing like that, just an extension, which gives us the certainty to prioritize the account and gives them the certainty because we have a lot of case studies to back up our averages, and literally on calls, we'll go in and show them client accounts of the results that we're actually getting them, which is super cool. So moral of the story, if you get good results for people, remove aggressive guarantees, stop selling retard guarantees, and instead charge based on averages with a baseline guarantee, if anything. Now, as always, if you want direct implementation in a done-for-you setting or a done-with-you setting to where we'll structure your ads, call funnels, webinars, offers, everything needed, and staff your sales team in some cases, click the link below and apply to work with us to scale your offer to 6 figures a month. Now, our average client, and I just calculated it based off last month's cash collected, is doing around $112,000 per month. So by no means is that guaranteed, and by no means by watching this video are you claimed to potentially make that money, but based on those averages, if that sounds like a result that potentially you would be looking to obtain, then again, and click the link below, apply to work with us on the done for you basis or a consulting basis to get all of the systems, SOPs that you would need to be able to implement this yourself. With that being said, see you later, bye.